your high performance coach, and I am here with Anne Dorthe Tanderup today. Like before we get on with this talk today that I call Talk with the Experts. So Anne Dorthe Tanderup, I'm just going to introduce her shortly, and then we are going to let her just take over with her magic. Anne Dorthe Tanderup, I met her 3 years ago. And that is when I was looking for some more high performance in my life, actually. So when I met Anne Dorthe, it was like, yes, this is fantastic, because Anne Dorthe is an ex-athlete and she won the Olympic Games. Like, who better than that knows what high performance is all about? So I'm not going to talk anymore because I can just go on and on. So a huge welcome to you, Anne Dorthe, and please go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Thank you, Catherine. And thank you for letting me talk to all of you. I'm also in Catherine's group and I love all her posts. So you're right, Catherine, we met each other 3 years ago and it was online. I have known your sister for quite some time because she has an amazing bed and breakfast in Italy, in a very nice region. I've been there, so I know her. So we kind of were connected. And my life has always been about, I would say, high performance. I have been an athlete, as Catherine says. I've been since I was 5 years old. I started playing handball, which is the European type of handball, which is team handball. So it's not just like the squash thing. It's actually like soccer, indoor soccer, but with hands. So I've been playing that since I was 5. And at some point, I understood that I was actually pretty good at this. So of course, when you do you follow the group that is surrounded by you, suddenly everything becomes easier because that group developed into becoming the national team. And suddenly we have everything of high performance around us. We had the federation around us. We had the national coach around us. And then you just go from there and you don't even think about it because you're just in that environment. And I think that is one of the biggest things when we talk about high performance, as just Catherine even started saying here, put yourself in the right environment, surround yourself with the right people that want to lift you up and not take you down. So my journey in handball and in athletics, or let's say in sports, was mainly because of the environment. So I got inspired. I wanted to become better every day because there was somebody who was better than me and I wanted to be in that arena. I didn't want to sit on the bench or up among the people up and watching. So I just really, really wanted to become better. And how do you do that every day? So of course you need to put yourself into a good environment. You need to be able to understand also how to become better yourself. And Catherine, I know you talk a lot about this inside of your group, and I want to share some stuff with you today, but I don't know if you have any specific questions, Catherine, regarding what we just...
You know what? I just love talking to you because I like when you kind of just go where you want to go, because I know that you have so much to give. And so I don't have specific questions. If anybody then has specific questions, they can write them in the comments and I'll definitely come back to you. But well, one specific question, that we are in a high performance group. So what I really wanted to know is, you were a high performing athlete, and like you have had so much experience on the field as an athlete. How can you use all that today in the life that you are living today? How do you use that?
So my life today is still very much in sports. I'm married to an ex-athlete as well, who has won the Tour de France and has had a high-performing team that also has won the Tour de France. So my whole life has been around athletes. I have 4 boys that are also in athletes. One is an alpine skier, and then the rest of them are soccer players. So every day is about high performance because they also go to school, to universities, everything. So how I use what I have learned 25 years ago today is, I believe, very much how I see myself and how I build my day and my week and my goals and where I want to go. I know that if I put my mind onto something and I really, really stick with it, I know it is possible. And that is also what I teach my children. When my husband stopped his active career and he actually got in to be owner of a cycling team, and he said he wanted to create the best team in the world, people kind of laughed at him, but he just, went for it, and he did. So I think it is very much, again, put yourself into people with big visions, like surround yourself with them, study them, see what they're doing, and really try to understand how you can put that into your own life. Yeah. So I was very lucky when I was young to be in this environment with a national coach. Maybe before that, I have to say they were almost putting down the national female handball team in Denmark because there were no results, no money, no nothing. So we were this close to being closed down. And then suddenly we have this coach coming in saying, hey, listen, we have some talents running around. They're young, but they're good. So he said, I want some time. So we got some time, and suddenly we were good enough to actually become second in the World Championship. Then we won the European Championship, and then we won the Olympics in a 4 years period. So I was lucky to be surrounded and be taken in by somebody who had the vision, the bigger vision, the vision of something that had never been done. Somebody who was bold enough to say, hey, I know we can do this. I know if we do this, we can go there. And we just followed because it was so interesting. And I think it's the same in everyday life. Find somebody who inspires you. Find somebody who has done what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because if you go and if you find these people, they will be able to inspire you. Yeah. Because most of them have not come from success when they got born. Most of them have really struggled along the way, and we all struggle. We all make mistakes to become better. It's daily, and it's sometimes really hard. But if you have the end goal in mind and you find somebody who has done it or believe in you, you can go anywhere. And I think that is what I have gotten from my time in sports, that it's actually possible. Even though that people don't believe in you, nobody believed that this female handball team could achieve a greatness that has never been seen before in any Danish team sport. So it was just amazing. And looking back today, I can see that many of the things I learned in that period, such as getting up in the morning, putting the right mindset in, knowing what you want to achieve that day. It doesn't have to be big goals, but just one thing you want to actually become better at that day, better than yesterday. You decide your your energy that day. I mean, now I just heard from Graham and Narinda that it is raining in UK. So you get up and you look out, oh gosh, it's gray outside, it's dark, it's really hard, but that doesn't have to impact your way of looking at the world that day. You can still have light and smile in yourself. So I think that is really important here.
Yeah. So, sorry, can I just sum up because I think you are touching on so many important things here. You're talking about having a vision. And I talked about it in the group as well, your life vision. You have a vision, so you have a goal in mind, and so your GPS, your inner GPS will just bring you there. You have the vision, you have the environment, you have the right people around you, which is so important. And then you're talking about habits, the mindset. Our thoughts are habits, the things that we do are habits. And I just wanted to, there has just come one question in before we're hopping maybe into some habits that you could recommend to us. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Narinda just asked, do you ever struggle with motivation? How do we tackle that?
I was actually going there because I saw your question, Narinda. Yes, I think everybody struggles with motivation. But there is one very, very important thing that I believe is essential and crucial when we talk about motivation. you don't get motivated if you don't take action. So I believe that to be able to be motivated, you actually need to take action. Because if you do not take the action, there is no motivation. I think it's like a circle, it's like a loop. So let's say that I want to run a marathon. If I just say I want to run a marathon and I don't take any action, I will never be able to run the marathon and my motivation will go away. If I say, okay, I would like to run a marathon, but I need actually to make a plan. So I need to go back. So we say like engineer backwards. So we go back and say, okay, we want to have this goal. We want to run the marathon. But then you need to go backwards step by step. So what do you need? Okay, you need to be able to run that far. Okay, how do we then actually run that far? I cannot go out and run a marathon today. So how long will it take me? How long do I need to take it down to smaller steps? Maybe I need a coach to actually help me. So there are so many things around motivation, but crucial is to start to take action. So you need to find a coach, you need to put it into small steps, and then you start small steps, and then you see how far you can come.
Yeah.
I hope that was
more.
I
couldn't agree more with you. Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about, just going to switch gears for a little while here, because in October we've been talking about health. This is something dear to my heart, because I feel like in my work, and I do a lot of sports as well, and we talk about mindset. Health is so important, because what I feel is if my health is not optimal, then I cannot go out and perform anything. What are your thoughts on that, and how do you tackle your health?
So I totally agree, Catherine. And I also remember that from my active career, that some days you just were not feeling well. You had like heavy legs and maybe headaches, and you were tired, and you're like, why is this? So today I'm a nutritionist, I'm a health coach, and I have had years experience helping athletes and active women actually performing better. So looking back, I wish I had known what I know today. So I always, when my athletes come to me and say, oh, have you seen this new thing? So goji berries, or we can take this and this and this and this, and then we want to do keto, then we want to do whatever fat diet. And I'm like, oh, we need to start at the basics. And they're like, oh, but we eat protein, we eat carbs, we eat a little fat and stuff. I said, no. We need to make sure that inside of yourself that you are actually optimal, meaning there are things you can do today. There are tests you can do today that will show you, how do you look inside? Are you optimal inside? Are your cells really in order? How is your gut health? Before we talk about all the things that we can put on extra, add on, we need to make sure that you are optimal already on a basic level. Then we talk about extra things to maybe gain 1%. If you ride the Tour de France, 1% can actually make you win if you become 1% better. But you don't become 1% better if you're not optimal already, because you will break. Over a 3-week course in cycling, if you're not optimal going into that race, you will break.
Yeah.
No matter what you put on top, it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that you can actually keep performing at the highest level with your basics.
Yeah.
So when we talk about health, I believe that it is crucial. Even for me today, I'm not an athlete anymore. Maybe you will still say I am, but I mean, I'm not performing at world-class level. But I believe every person has the right to perform at an optimal level in their daily life. So if you are here and you want to optimize your daily performance just in life, I believe it's very, very important to actually understand if you are already healthy.
Yeah.
And
so,
yeah.
Sorry. So what you're saying is that health is not only for athletes.
No.
It's for everyone.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, because this is important, I think, as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, health is essential for an athlete. If you're not healthy down to the tiny little cell, you cannot perform at an optimal level. Of course not. But even me today, having been an athlete, and we say that sport is very healthy, but I don't believe it is at that level I performed at. So I have definitely had injuries, and I have things that today I struggle with. I have a bad knee, I have a bad shoulder, all of this. And I know that I'm not the only one, not just because I have been an athlete. I struggle with some issues. I struggle with some chronic things. Many people do that. I think it's like a third of the world population struggle with some kind of chronic issue. And we know that very often it is due to how you live your life, not just because I have done too much running, too much jumping, but also what I put into my mouth every day. So that is one of my really big things when I talk to people to try to help them is I want to know, how do you look inside? So I will do testings, pretty easy testings. I will help them with their nutrition. So I do also give supplements. I didn't know a lot of the things that I know today when I was an athlete. I wish I had, because I'm sure I would have performed much better. Yeah. So a lot of that is important, I believe. Another thing that is crucial is recovery. And maybe now I say recovery, you believe, oh, that's just for athletes. No. For me, recovery is about your sleep. It's about how you're winding down before sleep. It is what are you doing during the day to actually recover? Are you keeping your breaks, or are you just going full in for 8 hours at work? There are so many studies out there saying that if you work for 45 minutes, you should have 15 minutes of a break, because then you'll be much better in the next 45 minutes and you will have much more done. Are you working like 6 days a week, 5 days a week? That might not be necessary. Also shown that people are actually much better if they work shorter periods of time, even during the week, like even over a week. Of course, it is a whole new way of looking at how we work and how we perform out in the society, but several high performance studies showing that people that do high performance actually do less work less, but with higher intensity when they're working, but then they have more breaks also. Yeah.
So it's about working smarter.
Yes.
And I think something that I've been talking about is also the time management that we have. People are being busy, but are you being productive? And if you work smarter, you can be much more productive. But we tend to be busy, so all the time. And I think it's important what you said about the recovery as well. I think many people, I've been in that lane as well. We just work, the more the better, right? But it's not always the more the better. It's like with everything, it's about the quality of what you do. It's like with the food and the nutrition, it's about the quality that you put in, and that will change you and give you results.
Yeah. I think there is one thing that we have to touch on here. I hear so many people talk about accountability. And if you think about it, we are much better being accountable to somebody else than to ourselves. Why is that? So when you think about it, society kind of teaches you how to be accountable towards other people, because it's always somebody else who says when you have to show up, what you have to do. You have to listen to your parents, you have to come to school at a certain point, you have to do your homework. So there's always somebody else that you kind of are accountable to. So why are we struggling so much being accountable to ourselves? I believe that's because it's never taught.
Yeah.
I think society today is very much about being accountable outside of yourself. So I hear so often, oh, I just need somebody to help me, to hold me accountable. And I'm like, you can do that yourself. And they're like, no, 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 no. I don't trust myself. If I set up some goals, if I set up my schedule, I totally fall through. I cannot do what I promised myself to do if it is not because somebody else is there banging on my head and asking me or wanting me to do something. So one of the things that I love to work on with my people is, how do you become accountable to yourself? And I think that is a very, very essential step in high performance.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? It's not that when we talk about scheduling your day, Catherine, it is not about that you schedule your whole day, because most people, if they do that, they cannot follow through. We lose it, and then we lose a little bit of confidence, self-confidence, and the more that happens, the less we will actually be accountable to ourselves, and the less we'll trust ourselves. So my recommendation is always take something, just one little thing for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and do that every day, or at least a schedule that you feel that you can actually follow through with. So an example, it's raining today. Maybe you have a dog and today you're not going for a walk. Maybe if you told yourself, I need to go for a walk every day with my dog, every day. Maybe you do that already. That is accountability. Of course, it's accountability to the dog, but the dog is not going to come and bite you or be not happy with you, or like, I mean, that is more accountability to yourself, that you actually do what you promised yourself. Take the dog, go for a walk. But just listen, if you do that for 2 weeks, and you actually can just cross off, I've done that for 2 weeks in a row. I did not do it. I committed. You know how much self-confidence that will actually give you? Little things, and then you build on top of that. I think that is very important when we start talking about high performance, because you cannot perform at a high level if you don't trust yourself.
I agree with you. And I think this is such an important aspect, and it actually ties well into the whole motivation. You get motivated by taking action. And that's what you're doing here. You're holding yourself accountable and just do it anyway. That's what I always say. I'm not feeling like it. I'm just going to do it anyway, because this is my plan. This is where I want to go. And I remember why I want to go where it is, the goal that I have. Why do I want it? Because when you have that why that is so important to you, then you are just going to go and do it anyway. And then you get motivated. And so now the ball is rolling, right?
But yeah, totally, Catherine. But there is one more thing here, and we have discussed this, you and I, quite often. You're talking about your why. Sometimes it's really hard to find a why and understand why do I want this? Do I really want this? Is something that I get from outside? Is something I really want? The most important thing that you can actually do is to put a feeling to what it is that you want. Yeah. Because the feeling you can feel into, and it will make you have emotions, and emotions will make you take action. If it's just a bold goal that you do not kind of connect with, it's not ever gonna make you go there. So if you have like a money goal, I want to earn this, what do you want to make, what do you want to have these money for? Why do you want to have that amount of money? Why do you want to run a marathon? Why do you want to have kids? What is it? What feeling? What will it give to you? What can you do with the money? What can you do with when you have run the marathon? All of these things, they give you some kind of feelings. You need to tap into those feelings to be able to achieve the goal.
Yeah, I agree. This is what we talk about in NLP as well, neuro-linguistic programming as well. When you tap into your feelings and you get all your senses involved, when you see a goal, when you feel a goal, when you can imagine it being there, you know, that is when you it becomes alive, and that's what will give you a kind of a motivation to take the action and just keep moving forward. And you also trick your brain into, how can you say it? It's like the brain has already been there. The brain can't distinguish if something is real, or if it's imagined or visualized and so on. When you tap into all of your feelings and such, it becomes so strong and it becomes possible. As you said, when you see something is possible, then you go for it. But you need to take a first step. You need to get started.
Very much.
Yeah.
Very
So
much.
Anne, do you have 3 tips? You've already given us a lot, I think, but do you have like 3 tips? What do we do? Like, how do you start your morning? I don't know. How do you set yourself up for success?
So let's just go straight into that. I believe everybody has to find their own way, their own morning ritual. So you can read books and you can go online and you can find so many people talking about what they do. So very often they say the most successful entrepreneurs will get up 4:30 in the morning, and then they will have their tea and coffee, and then they will start working out, and then they will do some journaling. It's like, oh, whoa. 4:30 in the morning is not for me. So I think I have created my own way. And I believe we all have to do that. Just because I'm telling you something now, it doesn't have to work for you. But just the fact that you actually do and make a habit every morning will be what is important. Not especially always what it is that you do the same as I do. It is more the morning habit. So what I do in the morning is that I get up before my kids. I have some time for myself where the house is quiet. I sit down and I spend a few minutes on looking, like closing my eyes and looking at my day. What is happening today? What would I like to go after when I have finished my day? What feeling would I actually like to go to bed with? So that is what I do in the morning. And then I have my coffee, I make breakfast for my kids, and I send them off. And then I have another half an hour where I often will take the dog out, or I will just sit down at my desk and really go down in a state of, okay, what is it I want to accomplish today? So my mornings are quiet. They're not very active. I will do that a little later during the day. I really need to connect with myself in the morning. So that might not be the same for you. I know somebody really wants to get up and just go for a run early in the morning. Others have to run off and go to work. I'm lucky I work from home. I can kind of plan my day. So I think and believe it is up to you how you want to start your morning. But my most important advice here is that you try to make a routine every day.
Yeah. Okay. I love this, that you're kind of setting your intentions for the day. This is very, very powerful. And as you say, yeah, we are all different, right?
And you know, said, just because also if we put this back to when I was an athlete, we knew the day before when we were in training camps, we knew the day before what we had to train next day. It was not just, we just came out for the training and then the coach said, oh, we're going to do this today. No, we had a plan. Yeah. So we would know the day before, what is it that we do today, next day? So we kind of could put our mind to it during the night. You know how unconscious thoughts you have also during the night, your dreams and everything will actually put you in the right state for the next day. So I think it's important that you look and you are very intentional about your day.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you said something in the beginning as well, you know, the fact, and this is, maybe we should close with that. You said that, you know, it can be raining and it could be just a bad day or whatever, but it's all about how do you want to tackle it?
We are all different, and we have already talked about this. Some people are very sensitive. Others are much more, I wouldn't even say aligned. I think we're very different just in that case. Like some are very sensitive to everything around them, others are not. I'm very sensitive to the weather, to people around me. So I can easily get get confused if the feeling I have or the sensation I have is that mine or is it my husband's? So I believe it's very important, and that's why I start my morning on my own, setting my own intentions for the day, because then it's harder for things around me, the feelings, the sensations, the people, everything, the whole environment around me it's harder for that to get into me if I know who I am today. So I believe it's very much about lifting yourself up, knowing where you want to go, and then just know that you create your own energy. You decide. Nobody else can decide how you should feel today. It's not okay if somebody else will decide that. Yeah. So it's also up to you if you let somebody else decide how you feel today. Yeah. I think that's essential to feeling good. And it is hard. I agree. It's very hard. It's also raining here today, but I'm having a great conversation with you. So I'm just, going into a great mood because I actually talk about feeling good.
Yeah. Oh, this is fantastic. And I think it's so important. The thing that it's not about what happens to you, it's how you react to it, right? And yeah, it's not something that you just do. It's all about habits again. We always go back to the habits. It's the habit in everything that you do. But the first step for change is being aware of it. So what can you do today? I think be aware of your patterns in all the areas of life that we've been talking about here. We've been talking about your health. Do you have goals in your health for yourself? Do you have goals for yourself in your career, in the way that you handle your emotions? Do you have, like, in all those areas of life that are so important? The first thing is becoming aware. You make a plan, as Anne said, make a plan, have a vision, be confident about it, and then we go. And, this is my work as well as a coach, come and work with a coach and you work on all these aspects. So, Anne, I want to thank you so much for your participation today. I hope this was useful. Somebody already wrote in the comment, thank you so much. This was very helpful. And I think we got really, really great value. Do you have any closing words that you want to give us on the way out?
Nah, I think it's important to believe in yourself. And I know that can be hard, but then surround yourself with people that believe in you. I think that's probably the most important aspect of a high performance life. Because if it's hard sometimes, some days, and you have somebody who actually sees you and know what you are capable of and can see that, telling you, wow, I mean, that makes a difference for me. So I'm sure it will make a difference for so many other people. So my best advice is to do the things, have your morning, set your intentions, and then make sure you have people around you that supports you, but also sometimes not agree with you, because that is also important to grow. So put yourself in the right environment with people that are actually here to do great things themselves.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Anne, about surrounding yourself with the right people. Just stay tuned here in the group. We are all here to support you, and please comment on this interview. I will even get you in contact with Anne if you want to follow her. And yeah, thank you so much for everybody that has been watching with us, and take care and high performance to everybody.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.